Because I'd been a part of a 24-hour film contest, I already had an idea of what this would be like. But there were a number of differences between this contest and the other. The main difference, besides the time, was the size of the crew, certainly the quality of the equipment, and the number of hours spent doing all three stages. I mentioned in, I believe, my Hangover Part 3 review that my job on this project would be the director. That changed the day before we ended up doing this project. I ended up being the screenwriter, which I really didn't mind because I wanted a challenge, and it was really just as exhausting. I mean, everything when you're doing this kind of thing is exhausting. For the 24-hour contest, we were given a theme, which ended up being There's No Place Like Home. And then we were given this little button to put into every shot to prove that it was our footage and that we hadn't stolen from anyone else. With this contest, however, there were many more and also different elements. We were given a genre, and it was different for almost every group. Ours was suspense/thriller. We were given a prop to use, and we had to buy it. They just told us what it was. Very nice of them. It was a snow globe. Same for everyone else. Then we were given a line to implement into the script, and that was also the same for everyone. And the line was, "I don't think you're supposed to hold it like that." And finally, we were given a character, both a name and occupation. It could be either Matthew or Marilyn Perifano, spelled Perifano. And I haven't the faintest idea of who thought of that last name, but I kind of want to punch him in the face. Because honestly, trying to write that last name into the script without bursting out laughing was probably the most difficult thing to do. Absolutely ridiculous. And the occupation was teacher, which is interesting, but we made it work. I think anyone who wants to go into filmmaking, be it independently or for a studio, should do a competition like this and more than once. It not only gets you into this mindset of we have this amount of time to do this much work, let's stop thinking and go, but it also tests your passion. And it is very true that like 90% of shooting is just standing around and waiting. In terms of the time frame of how long it took for each stage, I'll try and break it down for you. Brainstorming began literally the second we got the info. It took a long time to lay out the real basic story. The director, Sean Dong, had a story, and after three of us pitched our own ideas, we decided on his and just kind of went down certain paths and, said, yes, that sounds good. No, this really doesn't work. Will they believe this? Will they think that's bullshit? Stuff like that. I then started writing immediately, and we wrote throughout the night and took a break after 12 hours. We started at the kickoff about 7 p.m. and went to bed at 7:30 a.m. And that was myself, Sean, the director, and Manny, our team leader, and also one of our actors. We got up at 10-something and shot that night, and it was an all-night shoot, so basically I was up for 24 hours straight. The rewriting of the script really never stopped, and in all honesty, it was one of those cases, much like with a Hollywood film, sort of like Men in Black 3, for instance, where we'd be on set and they'd ask for a different line, and I'd be there and have to suggest something different. That happened a lot, so I really never did stop writing until we'd finished shooting the dialogue bits. And then we had like 10 hours left, and it was at that point all up to the editor, Ryan, who I think did a fantastic job of, in the time he was given, going through with the director, picking the best angles and takes. A few of us went back to Manny's place just to crash. His place was base camp, and we slept for a few hours and then got up and went to see how the editing was coming along. We had our sound guy working Pro Tools, and then we had a big monitor projecting the film on Premiere Pro. It was very tight, and we were all just yelling at the export because we had 20 minutes until deadline and the damn thing just would not export fast enough. But we did finally get it there and had to transfer the film onto a flash drive. We were technically late, unfortunately, though, and so while our film will ultimately be shown in front of an audience, it's been disqualified from being considered for any of the awards, except for the audience favorite for some reason. Overall, it certainly felt longer than 2 days, but what we accomplished is quite extraordinary, and to think that there were actual legit production companies taking part in this as well is kind of intimidating. So while not every minute, or hour for that matter, was filled with glitz and glamour, I am proud of what our team accomplished and cannot wait to do it again, and hopefully with the same people. I'll be uploading the film itself pretty soon. We submitted our 48-hour version on the day of, but our team is doing some touch-up work to make it better, get a final version. So until then, you have this. If you've made it this far, thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed this summary of pictures. Next time I won't use my iPhone.